The Tree of Absolute Freedom. The Song of 100,000 Leaves weaves the tales of rise and fall. It is the whistling sound of fact, of living life, swung and vibrated by fate. Beneath its big umbrella, under the shelter of the glittering leaves, the real freedom has searched the way out of the embrace of rise and fall, and finally, the door of absolute freedom was opened. Like lotus, the sacred tree called Bodhi placed the symbol of absolute achievement or enlightenment along the walk of living Buddhism. Because the supreme enlightenment that turns former Prince Siddhartha to be the Supreme Lord Buddha had happened under the umbrella of this big tree, yes, through the venue of meditation, along the middle way, or Majjhimaka in Pali language, beneath the shelter of 100,000 leaves with none of the instructor, the supreme enlightenment has been achieved, all by only him. Before the coming of the Buddha statue, this sacred tree called Bodhi or Vajrapruksh or Asattapruksh in Sanskrit plays the role as a kind of satya. The reason being that none can imagine the real Rupakaya or the physical body of the Lord, because the state of the Buddha is the unity of the two important bodies, the Rupakaya or the physical body, and the Dhammakaya or the body of enlightenment, which is possible only through meditation. The Dhammakaya or the body of enlightenment permanently existed inside the innermost of the Rupakaya of the Lord. And it is the Dhammakaya that changed former Prince Siddhartha to be the Lord Buddha. Then, to symbolize the Blessed One, the Bodhi tree has been chosen together with empty seat or asana instead of making his statue. The Bodhi tree symbolizes not only the absolute freedom, but the big curved shade also symbolizes the universe, enwrapping all beings in the overflow of rise and falls that the Blessed One seeks the way out. Then, when the stupa or satya took its first step by Asoka the Great, the first delivered was in the shape of a semisphere. The place or building which looks like a small hill to keep the remains of kings or of the very important people is called stupa in Sanskrit and tupa in Pali. But satya is only in Pali language, means the place or the one who should be respected. Stupa or tupa is always in the form of a small hill, but satya could be in any form because of its being the place to be respected is the main principle. Let's look back at the first step of history of this sacred building. From Bodhi tree to the dome of Sanji, in the very first meaning, the dome represents the whole universe, and the topmost of the Bodhi tree turned to be the Hamika, or the Vajra Asana, aimed to emphasize the enlightenment. The Bodhi tree had been developed to be the parasol above the Vajrasana, or the seat of the Lord Buddha. It is to announce that sitting upon the Vajrasana, under the shade of the Bodhi tree, the former Prince Siddhartha conquered the whole universe, and the way to free himself from the frame of the universe and from the everflow of rise and fall to achieve Majjhimaka, or the middle way, by meditation. The middle way, or Majjhimaka, is the principle of the Supreme Truth. It should be from Majjhimaka and through Majjhimaka. It is represented as the radius perpendicular to the basement. It is from the elevation of human, up and up, until greeting the supreme gate opening to the absolute freedom. From stupa or satya, it should be said that it is the inside-out art. It is not only the art of philosophy or the art of truth, but also the capacity to turn the invisible to be the visible one. And in the very first time, the process to create and to build the sacred building must be done with great care. It is believed that at the time Sanji was released, there were still Arahants, or the one who could attain the highest truth, and the most important one is sage Upagupta, who gained high respect from Asoka, the greatest emperor of ancient India in Maurya dynasty. Then the coming of Sanji should be from meditation, through meditation, and by meditation. Sanji, the first dome stupa of the world of Buddhism, is lying in history. Time regularly takes its steps from history to present. Now, through 2,500 years, emerges the new one in the venue of living Buddhism, glittering and shining to confirm the light of enlightenment. The Dhammakaya Satya, the modern technology for the ultimate truth.